What's up, guys? Sleepy here, and today we have top 5 Pokemon I would eat. Now, I know this sounds slightly ridiculous, but I figure Thanksgiving is coming up, which is essentially the day where we eat a lot, and I was thinking, why not do something a little risque here? Now, would I actually eat Pokemon? Maybe. It really depends. Like, imagine you're stranded in the middle of a gourmet kitchen and all you have is Pokemon around you. What are you gonna eat? Just the Pokemon, I guess. So if you think about it like that, probably, maybe, possibly not like my best friends or anything. And there's been like these things that say like in the anime that you're not really supposed to show food or anything like that. You're not really supposed to show like Pokemon dying or Pokemon being eaten or what they eat or whatever. But early on in the anime, they did show animals and such, and they showed stuff like that, and they did show like fried Magikarp as such in this image. But they don't really touch on the whole food thing, and it's almost I like to theorize that perhaps they have just like advanced tofu, and perhaps they did at one point eat lots of meat, Pokemon meat, but at this point they really don't. I mean, most Pokemon are like no toxic and stuff, so it's kind of scary to think about eating a Pokemon, but there are a few Pokemon I would eat. And so we're gonna move right on into this top 5 Pokemon I would eat list. Number 5 is Sharabi. I can't even say this without laughing. Honestly, the thought of eating a Pokemon is just really absurd to me because they are more like humanoid than animals could ever be, but some of them, not humanoid in shape, but humanoid in mind. But interestingly enough, Sharabi has that small little ball attached, and Sharabi obviously based on cherries. It says the small is not only filled with nutrients, but it's also tasty, which means someone has tried it. Someone has tasted the little ball. The little ball has a face. I would imagine it has a life of its own, but apparently not. Someone eats it. Starly tried to peck it off. I'm not the biggest fan of cherries in particular, but I can eat them with like other stuff. I put an eat with section over there. Cupcakes, they can go on top as seen in this image. Ice cream, cherries are very popular on top of ice cream. And Shirley Temples. If you've never had a Shirley Temple, it's like a cherry drink, and I used to order it a ton when I was younger. It's just a really cool drink that tastes really good. And just imagine a Sharabi Shirley Temple. I imagine this thing must be very sweet, just like a cherry. It's probably very similar to a cherry. I mean, it's a grass type. It's a plant. It's basically a berry. Now, its evolution, not so much edible to me, but Sharabi definitely seems like top edibleness. Up there with the other edibles, you know what I'm saying? So that's why Sharabi deserves number 5 on this list. Now, we're going to move on to number 4. Eggcute. Eggcute. It is an egg, I think. We think. We don't really know. A lot of people don't know. It says, if you read the dex description, this Pokemon consists of 6 eggs that form a closely knit cluster. The 6 eggs attract each other and spin around. Now, these eggs turn into a tree. So, like, why exactly? Well, they're also grass type, and different dex descriptions have them listed as seeds, actually, instead of eggs, which are also edible, but not as good as eggs. But it is really interesting because one of them is cracked and it has a yolk, so I imagine them more as eggs. I mean, they have egg in their name more than seeds, but there are official dex descriptions that also list them as seeds and egg-like rather than eggs. But I use this dex description here because it clearly says it consists of 6 eggs. Which I would like to think, you know, they're actual eggs. Now, obviously, you could eat a real Pokemon egg, and that might be better, but this is an actual Pokemon that is an egg. This egg can hatch from an egg. You can hatch an egg from an egg and eat the egg that was in that egg. Now, you can eat this with bacon. Eggs and bacon, very popular. I put cake because you can bake it in a cake. You can use it as cake, egg for the cake. You use eggs and cakes and stuff like that, you know. So I also put Eggs Benedict. If you've never had Eggs Benedict, well, then I feel bad for you because that is one of my favorite Benedict sauce. I don't really know how it works, but it's one of my favorite egg-flavored, egg-used dishes, egg-something dishes. I don't know. But you can eat Eggcute. Eggcute would be number 4 on my edible list. We're going to move on to number 3, which happens to be Pignight. Now, Pignight is not an Emboar, and it's a pig. It's in the middle there, and the reason I chose Pignight is because he is a pig that is on fire. This is basically pre-cooked bacon. You know, some people get really lazy and have to use like microwaves to microwave their bacon. This is pre-cooked. He's already ready to go. I mean, assuming he's not alive, it would be kind of rude to eat him alive. But hey, just eat him alive real quick, bring him to the Pokemon Center, whole new strips of bacon. Just like that. Just use a potion real quick, spray it on there, bam, insta bacon. Insta heated bacon. It's instant heated bacon. Now, its description does not mention it being edible at any point, but you know, it's a pig, just like any other pig. Grumpig maybe would taste good, but Pignight is already cooked, so had to opt for Pignight. Now, I love bacon. I love bacon with eggs. I love bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches, and I love bacon cheeseburgers. I am a big fan of bacon, so the thought of such a thing is kind of more appealing to me. Instant bacon, heated bacon, instant heated bacon. It has a fire in its stomach, which basically means that it's cooking itself all the time. It's cooking itself from the inside out. So you feed it enough food, you make that stomach fire strong enough, and eventually you'll have a huge 122.4 pounds of bacon just waiting for you, basically. I mean, I know Pignight is probably one of the lower tier starters, so I was never really like attached to a Pig or an Emboar. I think he's okay. He's kind of cool, I guess, but honestly, in the end, he is just a heap of bacon. Now, we're getting into the sweet stuff here. Number 2 is Swirlix, or Parapafu, apparently in Japanese. Now, I wasn't sure what you would ever mix cotton candy with. A stick to put it on. Why would you put it on a stick? It has a stick pre-made, its tail. You can eat Swirlix, and this isn't just me saying I would eat Swirlix. You can eat Swirlix. It eats nothing but sweets. So its fur is as sticky sweet as cotton candy. And then sticky, now saying it's sticky sweet is different from saying it's sweet and sticky. So I use this other description as well that says it is as sweet and sticky as cotton candy, assuming that means you can indeed eat it. Now, cotton candy is not exactly sticky. It's not like you can make threads out of it, kind of. It's more like loose sugar. But if it's anything like that, then I am pretty interesting. Now, it extrudes this as well as its fur being like this. So it's basically a replenishing cotton candy machine. It generates cotton candy if you just feed it candy, which is basically a cotton candy machine. That's what a cotton candy machine does. You stick candy in it, and it generates cotton candy. Now, I didn't know what to mix it with. I think I said that already, but so I just put cotton candy. More cotton candy? Why would you mix cotton candy with anything? That's kind of weird, like cotton candy burger? No. Cotton candy salad? Sounds gross. It's pretty much just cotton candy. But, it definitely looks nice and edible. You feed it cotton candy, and it makes more cotton candy. Feed a Swirlix another Swirlix, and you have a very cotton candy-like Swirlix. Right? You feel me on that? You understand there? Now, before we move on to number 1, I would like to make an honorable mention, and I feel like maybe some people expected this in here when they clicked on this, because this is probably the most well-known instance of edible Pokemon. Slowpoke. Now, this picture is just a straight-up Slowpoke Tail plush. Slowpoke Tail is a delicacy. Apparently, it's a delicacy. Worth a lot of money. They don't feel it when they get their tails bit or tails cut off. They can't feel it. They don't feel it. Of course, I believe this means they can no longer control the weather or something like that. There's something about their tail that they can't do without it, but it does grow back. So they essentially are an endless supply of meat in time. I said you can eat it with barbecue sauce, Old Bay. If you've never had Old Bay, you're a dork. Or in a burger. A burger, imagine a Slowpoke Tail burger. Just slice it up, use it as a burger. It seems more similar to steak, perhaps. It does seem to have that single bone down the middle, so if you want to eat it as a steak, barbecue sauce is a great alternative to the burger, but I would really like to try it on a bun, you know? I feel like it would be probably pretty tasty. Now, it's probably more similar. It's not seafood per se, but it's more like down that road. It's probably a little more salty, maybe seafoody. I feel like it would taste. Wow, this is making me hungry. It would probably be like not as much as like a burger, a little bit more towards like a seafoody burger. But I wouldn't say it's total seafood. It's not like he's a fish, but he is a water type, around water a lot, sticks his tail in the water. So, you know, I guess it really depends on the Slowpoke, perhaps. Now, it says in the dex description that a sweet sap leaks from its tail's tip. And although this is not nutritious, the tail is pleasant to chew on. So it has this sap, almost like its own sense of barbecue sauce, like pre-built into the tail. So it is extruding barbecue sauce basically as you're eating it. So if you ever run out, you could just stick the tip on the rest of it, and there you go. So I wouldn't know where to put this in this top 5. It didn't come to mind straight away, and that's why I kind of stuck it into an honorable mention. Would I eat it? Yes. But do I agree with the ethics behind it? That is a question for another day. Number 1 is Vanilluxe, and this was maybe easy to see coming. Now, I do really like vanilla ice cream, although I prefer chocolate, and my favorite is chocolate chip mint. I do like vanilla. I like soft serve vanilla. That's probably my favorite kind of vanilla, so it's basically soft serve vanilla ice cream. I said you could eat it with sprinkles on top. I'm not a huge fan of sprinkles myself, but that is definitely a very common ice cream topping, so I went with that. You could also eat it with hot fudge. I am a huge fan. And if you've never had fried ice cream, you have not lived. You can have them at most Asian cuisine locations. They have ice cream tempura, which is fried ice cream, and it's very good. It's like super freeze-dried, and then they fry it in a ball, and you eat it with the dough, and it's just, oh my god, it's so good. Just imagine a fried Vanilluxe. Wow, that's really mean, but it sounds so good. I love fried ice cream. Usually they have vanilla. They'll also have like green tea flavored ice cream sometimes. I've never tried it. It's very scary to me, so I'm just gonna, like, you know, stay away from there. But now, its dex description basically says that it just creates more ice. It's basically has a cone made out of ice, and then the ice cream on top with, like, even, like, almost looks like a spoon or a straw or something. It's very weird, but it's definitely modeled around ice cream. It definitely seems to originate from the idea of ice cream. And it's essentially ice cream. Now, it would be very cool. I don't think they'll ever actually include this in a game, but it would be really cool to see, like, actual ice cream flavors as alternative looks for Vanilluxe. Now, you know, its shiny is just purplish instead of blue, which is super lame. They had so much opportunity there. It's like you could have made it just brown for chocolate. You could have made it green for chocolate chip mint. So much, maybe even like half of it just brown. Like, oh my god, the opportunity was so missed, and that's super upsetting. But I feel like it would be cool. Maybe eventually they will have, you know, alternate flavored Vanilluxes. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. Let's wait for the black-white remixes, perhaps. But yeah, that's basically my number 1, just because ice cream is probably one of my favorite things in the world. And I feel like Pokemon I would eat if I really had to choose. I'm not especially attached to Vanilluxe, although I think it is a clever design. A lot of people give it hate for the fact that it's literally just ice cream, but I think it's a very cute, very clever, very interesting Pokemon, and it deserves a chance out there, you know? A chance to be in my stomach. So I would say out of all of these, Vanilluxe is probably the one I'm most likely to eat. Now, it's only because it can kind of replenish itself. I assume it doesn't get hurt too much if you're eating the ice cream, because it's really just ice. And it actually has like a body underneath the ice, so it probably doesn't feel it at all. The ice cream is like separate, so that's why I would really say this is probably my number 1, because I am very ethical about Pokemon, and I believe that I would rather it not get hurt, you know? Just rather not hurt the Pokemon, you know? Number 5 was Sharabi. You eat Sharabi, and you're eating a Sharabi. You're eating that guy. You know, you're not a Starly. You can't just pick things off. You eat an Eggcute, you're killing it. That's straight up murder right there. So is Pignight, might as well, right? You eating that instant cooked bacon, you're Rex sauce, you know? But Swirlix, maybe not. We don't know what's inside Swirlix, to be honest. We don't know if its fur is actually part of it. I would assume not. I mean, maybe if you're biting into it, but its fur alone would probably be fine. And then, you know, Vanilluxe is just ice cream. We've seen a Vanillite without the top of it. without the ice cream part, and it's just a ball, so it probably wouldn't feel it. It would probably be totally fine to eat. And I really love ice cream. I do. If I had a Vanilluxe in real life, I would probably be like, yo, let me like stick some chocolate chip mint in there so you can be chocolate chip mint flavored. That would be cool. That I would like that. But you know, like, I don't know, vanilla's cool as long as it's soft serve. I'm not a huge fan of like vanilla bean ice cream. But anyway, yeah, that was the top 5. Sorry, I'll just ramble on about that. That was the top 5, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. I figured this was Thanksgiving themed. Now, I did not put a turkey on here. If I had to eat a turkey, Ho-Oh, Moltres, self-cooking food, you know, fire types, they're out there. But I figured this was good. I really like doing this. I like interesting different top 5s. I like doing things that are a little bit more like out there as compared to just standard types and stuff. Although I do enjoy doing the types and stuff. And I did flying types and electric types. The flying types was more so for the beginning of November. Electric was just a filler. And then we got this one, which is like a bigger one, which is Pokemon I Would Eat, because these are like the edible ones, basically. These are legitimately ones that I would probably eat. So I don't think I would actually eat some of the ones that I would have to kill for. Maybe if they're already dead, and again, I'm stuck in this gourmet kitchen scenario, then perhaps. But most of these seem to be just little pickings here and there, you know? Maybe Sharabi regrows that little ball. Maybe it doesn't have like a brain. If it had like a brain, imagine eating a cherry and finding a brain in the middle. Okay, that's too much, sorry. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like. I forgot in the beginning to tell you guys to leave your own top 5 Pokemon you would eat before watching the video. So if you forgot, I'm sorry. But you can put it now. Maybe try to avoid these. Think of other Pokemon that you could eat. But of course, if these are part of your top 5, I just want to hear your top 5. Who you would like to eat, who you would eat, or if you wouldn't eat anyone at all. You know, some of you might even be vegetarians or something like that. Not necessarily saying all Pokemon are meat, but you know, different eating habits would have different top 5s, right? So I'm interested to see your own top 5s. Again, leave a like if you enjoyed. I certainly enjoyed making this video. I really love all you guys. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.